need for global attention on Hindu pogrom. Time to speak up against Hindu phobia. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
To play a sports cycle at close to 70, and I can totally imagine how physically tiring the film must have been.
I don't feel 69. It's something to do with what you actually feel. Vijay 69 is a triumph not only for me as an actor but also as a person. I don't have any fear of failure because I feel that what will maximum happen? People will say it was not great. To play ordinary characters and people identify me is the most difficult thing.
Just standing up for the rights. We will not expect him to take such action which would further create more tension between the communities and fear.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. Today is Constitution Day, and there was a very, very major event in which the Prime Minister spoke, and on the occasion of Constitution Day. For the record, this is the 75th year of the Constitution, ladies and gentlemen. And it's something we should take such pride in collectively, and we should rise over all political differences, personal differences, and take pride in the fact that we have, by swearing by the Constitution, by living through the ideals of the Constitution, ensured that India's democratic process is the most credible process, the largest process, and that our democratic ideals are stronger than ever. But ladies and gentlemen, it is shocking that Akhilesh Yadav opposed the celebrations of the 75th Constitution Day. And he said that how can we celebrate the day considering the kind of work the government did which had taken lives in Sambhal. Now we all know there was violence in Sambhal. But Akhilesh Yadav, tell me, where is it written that stone throwing is an individual's right as per the Constitution? Instead of targeting the security forces, why don't you target the people who stopped the court-appointed Advocates Commission from doing its job in Sambhal? Unfortunately today, some people believe that breaking the rules, taking the law into their own hands is a constitutional right. It is not. Rioting is not a constitutional right. Violence is not a constitutional right. Murder is not a constitutional right. Corruption is not a constitutional right. Caste politics is not a constitutional right. Ladies and gentlemen, the people who practice this kind of politics must ask themselves, how disappointed would the founding fathers of the Constitution, how disappointed would B.R. Ambedkar be with the kind of politics which these groups have completely and totally sworn by these days. The problem with Rahul Gandhi, on the other hand, is worse. He says, I don't think the Prime Minister has read the Constitution. Well, Rahul Gandhi, waving a copy of the Constitution in your hand does not mean you actually respect the Constitution. Disrespecting President Draupadi Murmu by deliberately, and the visuals are clear, deliberately not greeting her on Constitution Day, walking away, showing her back, showing his back to her, appearing distracted during the national anthem, attempting to sit while the president and other leaders are still standing. Absolute arrogance, entitlement, ladies and gentlemen. Now that kind of entitlement doesn't work in India. It should not even work in Italy, Rahul Gandhi. But in India it won't. So ladies and gentlemen, I believe that some people are not understanding the spirit of the Constitution. Walking out of Parliament is not respecting the Constitution. It is not a constitutional right. Displaying an empty blank pages red Constitution is not a constitutional right. Storming the well of Parliament, throwing files on the chair is not a constitutional right. Tearing a copy of an ordinance is not a constitutional right. Overturning Supreme Court majority judgments to nurture your Muslim politics as Rajiv Gandhi did is not a constitutional right. Ladies and gentlemen, today we debate the Constitution. Not the ideals of the Constitution, but why some parties have become so negative when it has been proven that there are lies about any political party, the BJP changing the Constitution or overturning the Constitution have been proven to be incorrect, false and fake. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 debates tonight. First, the Constitution debate and why we believe here at Republic that those who are claiming to swear by the Constitution are the ones threatening the Constitution. And I'm following that up with a situation from the visuals from Pakistan where we've seen a descent into chaos beyond what people expect. It's really crazy out there. And at 9 o'clock tonight, Hindu phobia as manifested in the violence against Hindus in Bangladesh. The Islamist army-run Yunus government is targeting Hindus and the Hindu community like never before. Hindu phobia is real. Hindu phobia is a buzzword, and that's my 9 o'clock debate. And here are the headlines. And ladies and gentlemen, Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar will be joining that. Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar will be joining me at 9 p.m. on that tonight. And here are the headlines this Tuesday evening on the debate tonight.
नेशन फर्स्ट, राष्ट्र सर्वप्रथम की यही भावना भारत के संविधान को आने वाली कई सदियों तक जीवंत बनाए रखेगी.
In a direct counter to the Democracy in Danger Brigade's narrative, Prime Minister Narendra Modi busts Rahul Gandhi's Samvidhan khatre mein hai hoax with his clear message. The Prime Minister says the spirit of nation first will keep the Constitution of India alive. There is more and more anarchy in Pakistan as the pro-Imran Khan protests in Islamabad turn deadly. 6 people are killed. Watch how protesters cross the river, jump the barricades and spread anarchy. The internal chaos in Pakistan is leading to complete pandemonium. Very respected ISKCON priest Chinmoy Krishnadas arrested and denied bail most brutally under Yunus's Islamist regime in Bangladesh. There are protests demanding his bail, not just in Dhaka but across India too. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a global alarm for Hindus to unite against this kind of institutionalized Hindu phobia. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate 75 years of the adoption of the Indian Constitution today, the entire political landscape in New Delhi stood unfortunately divided on who has truly protected the true constitutional ethos as envisioned by the founding fathers of the Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, on one side, you have those who every day and the other day proclaim that the Constitution is under threat, while blatantly disregarding some of its foundational principles. On the other side was Prime Minister Modi, who not only recalled that for the first time in 75 years, Constitution Day was celebrated across India, including Jammu and Kashmir, but he also spoke about the nation-first spirit that shall preserve and protect our constitutional ethos. So who has upheld the constitutional soul of the nation in these 75 years? On Constitution Day, ladies and gentlemen, let's debate.
As the nation celebrated the Constitution Day, marking 75 years since its adoption, the government and the opposition were once again at loggerheads on who has truly protected the constitutional ethos of our nation.
गारंटी देकर कह रहा हूं कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने इस किताब को नहीं पढ़ा है।
इसमें सावरकर जी की आवाज है क्या? इसमें कहीं लिखा है कि हिंसा का प्रयोग करना चाहिए? इसमें कहीं लिखा है कि किसी व्यक्ति को मारना चाहिए, डराना चाहिए, काटना चाहिए? कहीं लिखा है इस किताब में? इस किताब में लिखा है कि झूठ का प्रयोग कर कर सरकार चलानी चाहिए। मुझे दिखा दो कहां लिखा है। तो ये सत्य और अहिंसा की किताब है।
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister too did not mince his words as he recalled how our constitution survived the emergency and how it was finally implemented in Jammu and Kashmir.
बीते 75 वर्षों में देश के सामने जो भी चुनौतियां आई हैं, हमारे संविधान ने हर उस चुनौती का समाधान करने के लिए उचित मार्ग दिखाया है। इसी कालखंड में आपातकाल जैसा समय भी आया और हमारे संविधान ने लोकतंत्र के सामने आई इस चुनौती का भी सामना किया। संविधान से मिली इस शक्ति की वजह से ही आज जम्मू कश्मीर में भी बाबा साहब का संविधान पूरी तरह लागू हुआ है। आज वहां पहली बार संविधान दिवस मनाया गया है।
Even on Constitution Day, Rahul did not shy away from echoing his caste-based agenda.
जो सवाल पूछे जा रहे हैं वो बंद कमरे में 10-15 लोग नहीं चुन रहे हैं, वो लाखों लोग, उसमें दलित, आदिवासी, पिछड़े वर्ग के लोग, गरीब जनरल कास्ट के लोग, माइनॉरिटी के लोग, सब लोग हैं। और तेलंगाना की जनता ने सेंसस डिजाइन किया है और आने वाले समय में जहां भी हमारी सरकार आएगी हम उसी प्रकार से जाति जनगणना को करेंगे।
On the other hand, Prime Minister Modi recalled the words of Dr. Rajendra Prasad while reiterating the nation-first spirit needed to keep the constitution of a country intact.
आज के ही दिन 1949 में संविधान सभा में अपने समापन भाषण में डॉक्टर राजेंद्र प्रसाद जी ने कहा था, भारत को आज ईमानदार लोगों के एक समूह से ज्यादा कुछ नहीं चाहिए जो अपने हितों से आगे देश का हित रखेंगे। नेशन फर्स्ट, राष्ट्र सर्वप्रथम की यही भावना भारत के संविधान को आने वाली कई सदियों तक जीवंत बनाए रखेगी। मैं संविधान ने मुझे जो काम दिया है, मैंने उसी मर्यादा में रहने का प्रयास किया है। मैंने कोई एंक्रोचमेंट की कोशिश नहीं की है।
With the opposition and the Prime Minister both laying down their vision for the Constitution, the big question is, who is threatening the Constitution's true spirit?
On my starting debate tonight, I would like to start Pankaj Sharma, who often takes an anti-BJP position, Americai V Narayanan backing the Congress, and Ajay Alok are on the debate. And straight away, the issue here is this, that I think the run-up to the general elections this time saw this campaign that if Narendra Modi becomes Prime Minister for the third time, then within 1 week of becoming Prime Minister, he will cancel the Constitution. There will be no Constitution, right? there will be no democracy and there will be no elections. This was the campaign, right, Pankaj? Americai, that there will be no constitution, am I right? That there will be no constitution, right? Second, there will be no elections and there will be no democracy. This was the campaign, right, Ajay? That we saw in the run-up to the elections, right? Okay. Now, we have a constitution. Nobody is encroached on the constitution. Has it been cancelled, viewers? You remember in May, Rahul Gandhi went crazy saying constitution will be cancelled. There will be no constitution, no elections. There have been elections. You got wiped out, unfortunately. So the first point is this, that we must never use the constitution, Pankaj, as a political ploy to spread false information, to spread fake news, right? Americai, to try and threaten people. I think you've been exposed on that, and you may start by expressing your regrets about what you were trying to do in the run-up to the elections. On Constitution Day, that is the least we should do. Americai, Pankaj?
Okay. See, Constitution is for celebration, and we all must take pride in celebrating 75th anniversary of the Constitution. Without faith in the constitutional principles of equality, fraternity, and justice, celebrations have no meaning. You can't strangle Constitution daily and pretend to nurture it as well. See, the fundamental question is that when the ruling dispensation is demolishing the very spirit of the Constitution every other day, do they really have any right to celebrate the 75th anniversary of our pious Constitution with having so much profane ill will, hatred, revenge within themselves? Government is intentionally trying to make parliamentary forum irrelevant for the last many years. There has been a general decline in the number of sitting days.
On a continuous basis. And then you are spreading hatred and violence. And then you talk of constitution.
Let me complete. Lok Sabha passes
when you are losing elections on a constant basis,
without discussion,
state after state, and then you start spreading hatred and violence like what you did in Sambhal. And then you say why we should celebrate Constitution Day. Pankaj Sharma, listen and give answer properly.
See, between 2009,
Listen
Ajay
and give
Alok
the answers properly. Don't beat around the bush.
1%
Don't beat around the bush. It's 7 months. No constitution has been changed. No reservation has been altered. Rather, we talk about strengthening and empowering those pichhda and dalits, which you hate. What you Rahul Gandhi displayed today. Now I'll show you a tweet of Elon Musk. This goes for Rahul Gandhi. See,
what are you showing here? 1 minute. Pankaj, Ajay is showing something to you. What are you showing, Ajay? What are you showing? What are you showing? Explain it. I can't see it very clearly. What is
there is a tweet by Elon Musk today. In the first caption, he says, hard to swallow pills. Hard to swallow pills. And in the second caption, he says, your mental illness is not my new reality.
Now, Elon
Musk
has become the very
and it will increase. This frustration will increase. This mental illness and frustration will keep on increasing. Let the Delhi poll go, let the Bihar poll go, it will keep on increasing. The point is here is we will have to spend extra for opening new mental asylum in Maharashtra and in the country whole way because the kind of frustration you are getting into. Not respecting the constitution, not respecting the chair, not respecting anyone. But a single person obsession is driving the whole opposition and Congress crazy.
And on the entry of outsiders.
The obsession of Rahul Gandhi is driving you all crazy. You are not doing anything constructive. You cannot win an election. You don't have the confidence of the people and then you talk of constitution. Oh, yes, it was. Why it was not celebrated before 2015? Can you tell me?
75th anniversary.
When the Constitution came, it was always Nehru.
This year.
Why B.R. Ambedkar was not facilitated with Bharat Ratna for 40 years? What took Nehru, Indira, Rajiv and all? Bharat Ratna to Baba Saheb Ambedkar? Can you tell me? Why there was no place in the parliament? Why there was no place in the parliament for the picture of Baba Saheb Ambedkar?
25th of November in Samvidhan Sabha, you know it said
disrespecting the Dalits of this country,
Congress
party, all the political 65 years, everything.
I think Pankaj, if I can debate with you, you know, you don't want a detailed debate on constitution, you can tell us, but I would like one. I accuse the Congress party of conspiring to try and destroy the Constitution. Leading the attempt to destroy the Constitution and to overturn the Constitution, Americai V Narayanan, is the 39th Amendment to the Indian Constitution. Allow me to complete. The 39th Amendment to the Indian Constitution, 1975, nullifying the verdict of the Allahabad High Court that found Indira Gandhi guilty of corruption and corrupt electoral practices, pushed through in both the houses of parliament and state assemblies to stop the courts from entertaining election petitions against Indira Gandhi. So Rahul Gandhi's grandmother and the whole Congress party machinery tried to destroy the Constitution. There is no doubt about that. You also tried to change the basic structure of the Constitution by bringing in the words secular and socialist. In the middle of the emergency, 1976, you have an internal emergency, the whole opposition is in jail, Americai. And you bring in the words secular and socialist. So you change the basic structure of the Constitution. This is not the Constitution that B.R. Ambedkar gave us, the founding fathers and mothers of the Constitution gave us. This is a Constitution of the Congress government.
Can I come in?
No.
Has made it clear. I request my fellow panelists not to interfere because I don't interfere on the top. Number one, it is RSS which opposed the Constitution at the time when the Constitution was passed. Let's be very clear about that.
No, we are not clear about that.
No, please.
We are not clear about that. You will have to tell me a quote. You will have to tell me an individual. You can't say something, attempt to say it authoritatively, and think that on my program I will let you get away with it. I can't allow that. No, Americai, you have to. Americai, when you say let us be clear about it, who?
But this is not democracy.
No, but this is democracy where I'm asking you. I'm asking you to elaborate. I'm asking you to give me an example.
How long the question? The answer has to be bigger than the question. And
no, but you told me that the RSS blocked the Constitution. Which RSS person and how?
Know that you are interrupting because
no, because you don't know what you're talking about.
Let me finish.
You have no idea what you're talking about. Which RSS person opposed the Constitution?
You have all the time to.
No, name the person. Who are you quoting?
Second point, in 2015 is when we have started.
November 1949.
This Constitution Day.
The Constitution was adopted. RSS was banned.
Can I? Okay.
How can we oppose? How can the RSS oppose? Just let me know. There I bust you.
Okay, I'll keep quiet.
1949, when the Constitution was adopted, and my dear friend, go through the history. How was the Constitution? When? Where? In which of the Constituent Assembly debate RSS people opposed?
November,
give me one instance.
30th November.
Don't speak.
1949. They did say that.
That's what habitual.
Let's just go to the next point. You can rebut me.
You are all taking a cue for him only.
You talk with points. Don't keep interrupting, please. Second, in 2015,
I'm giving you, presenting you with the facts. You counter me.
I yield the floor to you if you talk. Can I? 2015.
You don't have anything to talk. Other than
unfortunately, I'm not. If you finish up, I'll talk. In 2015.
Collaborate nicely and put it into words and then come.
Can I talk?
Collaborate your thoughts, put it into words, then you will be able to cook story.
I think that's. Please let me finish up. In 2015, they have started celebrating it. It is like Satan quoting the Bible, because those people who violate Constitution consistently, the principles of Constitution in terms of fraternity and equality. See, if if liberty is the only
this is
thing,
like some bacha conversation, some childish essay, fraternity, equality, liberty, this, that. This is not a class 2 conversation. Please speak like a grown-up man. You're speaking like a child.
Uninterrupted time.
I'm asking you, let's have a proper discussion. Pankaj, no, liberty, equality, secularism, 5 words you learnt in class 4, you're repeating it now. Please don't speak like a child. I thought you're a political analyst. My question to you is, that is removing, Pankaj is removing 50% cap on reservations. Is removing 50% cap on reservations
let me finish up
within the ambit of the Constitution.
If you only want to talk,
Pankaj,
there's no reason why I need to be
Pankaj,
Give me 2 minutes.
No, you are not prepared, sir. You don't know, sir. I can give you 20 minutes.
Okay, then why you call me? I'll get out. No problem. You invited me.
But you must give a proper argument.
I am. But you won't let me. Because...
But you're not being able to.
Let's go to the point. Let's get to the point. If you do not have equality and you have only liberty, then what is happening is the crony capitalism that you are happening. This democracy...
this is class 2 level conversation, sir.
This is the democracy.
Class 2, liberty, equality, fraternity, secularism. 5 words you people memorize and you repeat it. It's not a proper, academically well-researched argument. My point is the 24th Amendment. No, I'm not listening to you now. The 24th Amendment of 1971 was passed to nullify the Supreme Court's decision in the Gokulnath case. The Gokulnath case said, volume down Pankaj, the Gokulnath case said that Parliament cannot amend the fundamental rights of citizens. The Congress government brought in an amendment in 1971 to nullify the Supreme Court's decision that Parliament cannot remove fundamental rights. So Congress party wanted to remove fundamental rights of people. Is that for the Constitution or against? Or will you tell me, because... Pankaj, please give me a specific answer here. Let me see if you can. Golaknath case, Golaknath case.
No fundamental right was removed. No fundamental right was removed. And recently, Supreme Court has, made it clear. Parliament has a right to include the words...
No, but Rahul Gandhi's grandmother wanted to change the basic structure of the Constitution by bringing in the 24th Amendment. Am I saying the right or the wrong thing? Why don't you admit it? She was anti-democracy.
It's wrong. Congress itself accepted that emergency is an
This is not emergency. Please get your history right, America. I'm talking about 1971. Yes.
I am telling you, is Supreme Court today has agreed on the word secularism and social justice. You think you are better than the Supreme Court? That's the question. They said socialism is a welfare state and secularism is not irreligion, but equal rights to all the religion.
So, why now, after so many years, there is no petition, so the
can't hear.
Dismissed.
Having some bad audio trouble here. Okay.
Again, your facts are wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, little bad audio there. I'm moving to my next story out there. Americai and Pankaj and Ajay Alok, thanks very much. Sorry for the bad audio links. The big story is about Pakistan next, which is on the brink. I'd like to play some pictures full frame. We have some incredible, crazy pictures which are from a river where there's a crossing going on of Islamabad, near Islamabad, of supporters of Imran Khan. And you can see the pictures of how they are crossing the river. There is complete anarchy. Pakistan is in chaos, ladies and gentlemen. The pro-Imran Khan protests in Pakistan have turned very violent. And the future of Pakistan is nothing but dark. Let's debate.
Pakistan is descending into political chaos. Watch how pro-Imran Khan protests, led by his wife, Bushra Bibi in Pakistan, have turned deadly.
खान के हुक्म पे 24 नवंबर से नहत्ती अवाम रुकावटें हटाती हुई इस्लामाबाद पहुंच रही है जो अभी तक नहीं निकले वो अपने और अपने मुल्क के मुस्तकबिल के लिए इस्लामाबाद पहुंचे, क्योंकि आपके मुल्क के मुस्तकबिल का सवाल है।
These protesters are demanding the release of Imran Khan and an end to the military dictatorship of General Asim Munir. Watch how they crossed the river to reach the heart of the city, spread anarchy and spilled violence on the streets of Islamabad. The protesters are demanding the revocation of the 26th Amendment. Second, the restoration of the Constitution. And third, the return of the stolen mandate, release of political prisoners. There is pandemonium in Pakistan.
PMLN, that is Nawaz Sharif party leader Irshad Ahmed, is debating with Abdul Samad Yaqub, leader of the PTI, that is Imran Khan's party. Irshad Ahmed ji, you are killing people, है ना? आप लोगों को मार रहे हैं, मगर लोग जितने आप मार रहे हैं, जितने आप वहाँ पे लोगों को टॉर्चर कर रहे हैं, उतने ही ज़्यादा लोग इमरान खान के सपोर्टर्स सड़कों पे आ चुके हैं। आप समझ जाइए, सबसे ज़्यादा सीटें उनको मिली थी, सरकार उनको बनानी थी, आप उनसे डर गए, आपने इनको जेल में रखा, मगर इनकी जो पब्लिक सपोर्ट है वो आप रोक नहीं पाएंगे। विजुअल्स ऑन द स्क्रीन, ताकि
शुक्रिया जी अर्नब जी।
इरशाद अहमद जी, वैसे भी पाकिस्तान में सिचुएशन बहुत ख़राब है, शिया सुन्नी झगड़े हो रहे हैं, लोग मर रहे हैं, कितने हज़ार लोग मर रहे हैं, चाइनीज़ नेशनल्स आर बीइंग किल्ड। ये तस्वीरें देखिए, आपने पीटीवी में देखे हैं तस्वीरें, आप रोक पाए लोगों को? ये देखिए इमरान खान के सपोर्टर्स हैं, आप इनको रोक नहीं पाएंगे। हर तरह से, हर जगह से, फ्रॉम एयर थ्रू सी टू लैंड, दे आर कमिंग टू इस्लामाबाद। यू शुड गिव अप द गवर्नमेंट, इमरान खान को बाहर कर दीजिए आप, है ना, और फिर इलेक्शंस कराइए।
चले मैं अब आपको जवाब देता हूँ। पहले बहुत शुक्रिया आपका कि आपने इतनी अच्छी डिबेट के लिए हमें बुलाया। दूसरी बात यह है कि आपने लफ्ज इस्तेमाल किए कि हम लोगों को मार रहे हैं। देखिए कितना गलत प्रोपेगेंडा आप लोग करते हैं। मेरे रेंजर्स के जवान किसने मारे, मेरे पुलिस के जवान किसने शहीद किए, किसने वायलेंस किया हुआ है पिछले 3 साल से? हमारी हुकूमत, हमारी इदारे, हमारे लॉ एनफोर्सेस एजेंसीज इतना सब्र दिखा रहे हैं। देखिए आज तक, अभी तक किसी भी इनके पीटीआई के किसी भी इंसान को चोट या जख्मी नहीं किया, लेकिन शहादतें हो रही हैं मेरे इदारों के लोगों की, शहीद हो रहे हैं मेरे रेंजर्स के जवान, शहीद हो रहे हैं मेरे पुलिस के जवान। और उनके सब्र का इंतहा देखिए कि उन्होंने जिस तरह उनको गोली मारने की इजाजत दी गई आर्मी को, लेकिन वो सिर्फ एक डराने का तरीका है। हमारी आर्मी, हमारी फोर्सेस कभी भी अपने निहत्थे लोगों पे फायर नहीं करेंगे और ना ही किसी को मारने की कोशिश करेंगे। एक तो बात ये है। दूसरी बात, आप ये दरिया दिखा रहे हैं, टिकटॉक के लिए तस्वीरें बनाई गई हैं, टिकटॉकर लोग हैं जिन्होंने ये बनाई है। कोई भी दरिया या कोई भी समंदर मेरे इस्लामाबाद की तरफ नहीं आता। ये वहां केपीके में एंजॉय कर रहे हैं लोग, झंडे लिए हुए। हाँ, पीटीआई की बैक है, पीटीआई पे लोग हैं, पीटीआई में लोग हैं और पाकिस्तानी लोग हैं, कोई हिंदुस्तान से या कहीं से ढाका से बुलाए हुए लोग नहीं है। तो इनकी हिफाजत भी हमारी हुकूमत का फर्ज बनता है, हमारे इदारों का फर्ज बनता है। हमारे इदारे कभी भी नहीं चाहेंगे कोई खामखा किसी को चोट आए या कोई जख्मी हो या मरे। लेकिन जो कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं जो इस पार्टी में इंतशार फैलाना चाहते हैं, 9 मई बनाना चाहते हैं, जो चाहते हैं कि इस्लामाबाद में भी चलाओ घराओ की सियासत हो जाए, तो हमारे इदारे इस वक्त अलर्ट हैं कि वो इस मजमूम इरादे में कामयाब नहीं होने देंगे उन लोगों को।
आप इमरान खान को रिलीज क्यों नहीं कर देते? आप इमरान खान को रिलीज कीजिए, जाने माने लीडर है आपके कंट्री के, सबसे पॉपुलर लीडर है आपके कंट्री के, है ना? तो इनको आप कब तक जेल में रखेंगे?
आप मुझे सुनिए जरा, मैं कह रहा हूं कि उनको जेल में उनकी सजा दी गई अदालतों ने, थानों ने,
आपने शूट एंड साइड ऑर्डर, आपने शूट एंड साइड ऑर्डर इशू कर दिया है। कोई भी वहां पे थे शूट एट साइट, ये किस तरह से आप कंट्री चलाएंगे? मुझे तो लगता है एक हफ्ते के अंदर सरकार गिर जाएगी आपकी, लोग इस्लामाबाद में आने वाले. Abdul Samad Yaqub, what do you think is going to happen now?
Well, first of all, I strongly condemn the atrocities and the brutalities committed by this military-backed fascist regime. Over 2 workers so far has been confirmed, killed. This confirmation is done by the Polyclinic Islamabad. So now the situation is the people of Pakistan stood up against this military-backed puppets government and these fascist regime. I mean, they are now standing for the restoration of constitution, and now this will continue. I mean, Pakistan can no longer be ruled by these puppets, these clowns. I mean, who are here to suppress the fundamental rights of the people of the Pakistans. So, I mean, still they are, I'm sorry to say, but Dr. Saab is still in the state of denial. I mean, they are still in a situation.
But he's scared today.
But
he's scared. You can see it here, Abdul Samad Yaqub. You can see it here. GD Bakshi is also on the program, General Bakshi. Today, the PMLN is scared. ये डरे हुए हैं क्योंकि इनको पता है ये रुक नहीं रही है.
डरे हुए नहीं हैं.
आप लग रहे हैं डरे हुए.
नहीं अब तो
आपको देख के लग रहा है आप डरे हुए हैं.
मिलिट्री हमारी बैक पर है. देखिए मेरी ताकतवर आर्मी अगर वो चाहे, क्या ख्याल है कि ये लोग जहां तक आ चुके, मेरी आर्मी का एक सिपाही खड़ा हुआ है, तो किसी की जरूरत नहीं.
में भी इसी तरह आप कहते थे कि हम नस्ल चेंज कर देंगे
सिपाही के आगे. डॉक्टर साहब अपने पाकिस्तान.
एक मिनट, डॉक्टर इरशाद अहमद कुछ कह रहे हैं. अब्दुल समाद याकूब आपको बोलिए.
चले बोलिए.
डॉक्टर साहब, ढाका में भी 15 दिसंबर की शाम तक आप यही कहते रहे कि जी हम इनकी नस्ल तब्दील कर देंगे, ये छोटे कद वाले, ये इस तरह के रेसिस्ट किस्म के. और फिर आपने क्या किया कि मिलिट्री ने वहां पे जो जुल्म हुए, जो जुल्म ढाए गए, वो इस जुल्म आज आप यहीं पे ढा रहे हैं. आपका ख्याल है कि जी आप ढाका की तरह उसी वक्त स्टेट ऑफ डिनाइल में रहेंगे और आप सोचेंगे कि यहाँ पे लोग जो है वो कोई भेड़ बकरी है जिसको वो चराया जा सकता है. इस तरह से नहीं होता. आप जो है
हम ये कहते हैं कि सियासत नहीं
इमरान पार्टी, नवाज शरीफ पार्टी.
हमारा कहना ये है, सियासत नहीं रियासत बचाओ. हम ये चाहते हैं जो कुछ आप करना चाहते हैं उसको हम होने नहीं देंगे. हमारे इदारे उसको कामयाब नहीं होने देंगे. रियासत ही बचेगी इंशाल्लाह. सियासत कुर्बान कर दी जाएगी.
ब्रेकिंग खबर है कि जो श्रीलंका की क्रिकेट टीम है, 1 मिनट viewers, the Sri Lankan cricket team has fled from Pakistan. I have been told they have got into a chartered plane, left the hotels because they are saying Pakistan situation is very unsafe. Irshad Ahmed ji, आप समझ जाइए. General Bakshi, what do you think the situation will be? You are very good at projecting scenarios. The way support for Imran Khan is growing, what do you think is likely to happen in Pakistan in the next few days?
Arnab, it was a stolen election, stolen with the help of the army, and therefore Pakistan is going to reap the whirlwind. The simple fact is, the problem there is the economic chaos, the economic meltdown. The absolute revocation of law and order, it's all broken down. There is a revolt in Baluchistan, there is a revolt in Sindh, there is a revolt in Gilgit-Baltistan, there is turbulence in POK, there is repression against the Shias. This is a state that is hoist with its own petard. And the fault line that one is seeing at play now is a dangerous fault line. This is the Punjabi Pashtun fault line. Don't forget that Imran Khan is a Pashtun.
Pashtun hai.
And in denying him or in trying to steal that election from him, they have opened up a schism which is, I think, going to destroy Pakistan. I feel sorry for that country. I feel sorry for the people who have had to suffer so much. But the fact of the matter is, it is a self-inflicted injury. You steal an election and this is what you get. The last stolen election was in 1971. And history has a strange synchrony. It tends to repeat itself, Arnab. The last election saw their stolen election, saw their country broken into two, right? And this stolen election could equally end up in that same
You see,
manner.
they want only Punjabi population to rule Pakistan.
It comes at the time of economic crisis.
And that is, you see, they only want Punjabi population to rule Pakistan. It's a Punjabi Shehbaz Sharif autocracy they want to run. People in Balochistan believe today that your army is waging a war against them. You want to finish Baluchi identity, Baluchi people. You want to have a genocide of Baluchi people. You want to have a genocide of Pashto people. You can't stop them. They will claim Islamabad. इरशाद अहमद, आप इमरान खान को रिलीज़ कीजिए. और अगर पाकिस्तान के लोग इस प्रोग्राम को देख रहे हैं, माई सजेशन इज़ अपने कंट्री को बचाने के लिए इमरान खान को रिलीज़ कीजिए. बैठ जाइए, बात करिए, सिचुएशन का हल निकालिए, नहीं तो ख़त्म है. 2024 के जो इलेक्शन थे वो फेक इलेक्शंस थे. आप हार गए, 9 लोग 10 इलेक्शन के दिन मर गए. इमरान खान की पार्टी का सिंबल आप ले गए. पीटीआई के पोलिंग एजेंट्स को 124 पोलिंग एजेंट्स को आपने किडनैप कर दिया. आपके चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर वो खुद डिसअपियर कर गए. उनको पता नहीं था वो कहाँ गए. फिर वो उन्होंने रीअपियर किया. इंडिपेंडेंट्स जो इमरान खान के थे उन्होंने 101 या 106 सीट जीती आपके असेंबली में. शर्म आनी चाहिए आपको और आप जैसे लोगों को. इरशाद अहमद खान जो किसी के इलेक्शन विक्ट्री को डिनाई करे. और दूसरी बात आपने इमरान खान को और इमरान खान के बैक जो इंडिपेंडेंट्स थे उनको जो रिजर्व सीट है जो महिलाओं के लिए, वुमेन के लिए, माइनॉरिटीज़ के लिए, वहाँ से फाइट नहीं करने दिया. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि सीटें अलॉट की जाएंगी पीटीआई को. मतलब आप डरे हुए इंसान हैं. मैं कोई इमरान खान का सपोर्टर नहीं हूँ. मैं मानता हूँ दैट ही इज़ अ वेरी वेरी डेंजरस मैन एंड ही इज़ अ क्रेजी मैन, यू नो, अ पर्सन लाइक दैट. बट द फैक्ट इज द क्रेजी मैन इज पॉपुलर इन योर कंट्री. अभी आपका चॉइस है. आपकी सिविल वॉर हो चुकी है, चाइना आपका साथ नहीं है और पब्लिक डिसअफेक्शन बहुत ज्यादा है. लोगों को खाने को कुछ नहीं है. रोटी के लिए तरस रहे लोग, रोटी के लिए तरस रहे लोग. उसके ऊपर आपने, एक मिनट, रोटी के लिए तरसते हुए लोगों को आप जैसे जो पाकिस्तान के सेल्फ स्टाइल्ड एलीट है, आप समझ जाइए. आप देख लीजिए क्या होने वाला है. देखिए, इरशाद अहमद जी, इस्लामाबाद गिरने वाला है. जहां पे आप बैठे हैं ना लाहौर में, लाहौर भी गिरेगा. आपको लग रहा है मैं लाहौर में बैठ के बच जाऊंगा. आप नहीं बचेंगे.
आप मेरी सुनिए,
आप नहीं बचेंगे. और लाहौर दिल्ली से बहुत करीब है. लाहौर दिल्ली के बहुत करीब है. बहुत जल्दी पहुंच सकते हैं हम. और जो बात अब्दुल समाद याकूब ने कही, यानी जिस तरह के तेवर आप मुझे दिखा रहे हो ना, वो आपके आर्मी वाले बांग्लादेश में 1971 में दिखाते उनकी टांगे तोड़ दी हमने. उनकी टांगे तोड़ दी हमने ढाका में. आप क्या आर्मी की, आप क्या आर्मी दिखा रहे हो? व्हाट आर यू शोइंग?
हमसे जवाब ले लें फिर.
अरे जवाब क्या लेंगे आप?
मैं सुन लीजिए. पहले तो ये है कि मैं इस्लामाबाद में मौजूद हूं, मैं लाहौर में नहीं हूं.
ठीक है, इस्लामाबाद में ही पहुंच जाएंगे. आप कहाँ? आप अपने हिफाजत को देख लीजिए.
आप मेरे प्यारे पाकिस्तान के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, पंजाब के बारे में.
आपका प्यारा पाकिस्तान नहीं है.
सुन लीजिए.
आप एंटी पश्तू, एंटी बलोची.
हम सब पाकिस्तानी हैं. हम पाकिस्तान से प्यार करते हैं. मैंने कहा
आप डरे हुए आज.
रियासत बचाएंगे.
आपकी आवाज नहीं, इसको डोंट टेक दिस नाउ. आपकी आवाज नहीं निकल रही है आज. आर यू फीलिंग ऑल राइट?
निकल रही है मेरी. आप बोलने नहीं दे रहे हैं. आप ले जा रहे हैं उसको उस तरफ, अनार्की की तरफ, जो कि चाहते हैं हमारे लोग.
मुझे तो लग रहा है आप रोने वाले हैं.
सिखाए हुए आपके सिखाए हुए, आपके भेजे हुए चंद लोग.
हमने किसी को भेजा नहीं है.
हमारे लोग हैं. पीटीआई भी कोई हिंदुस्तान से आई हुई जमात नहीं है. हमारे लोग मुल्क के लोग हैं. हमारे बच्चे बच्चियां बुजुर्ग खवातीन हैं. तो इसीलिए इनकी हिफाजत की जा रही है. ऐसा नहीं है कि मेरे इदारे डर गए या कुछ डर गए. वो डरते इस बात से हैं
बुशरा बीबी,
जो लोग ये चाहते हैं कि 9 मई बनाने.
अरे सारे लोग वो बुशरा बीबी को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, इमरान खान की वाइफ को.
देखिए, सब लोग इकट्ठे हुए हैं. ठीक है, एक जमात है, पार्टी है, पार्टी से मोहब्बत करने वाले लोग होते हैं. इसी तरह जब हम लोग अपोजिशन में थे, हम भी बाहर निकलते थे. सबको हक हासिल होता है. इसी तरह कंटेनर हमारे लिए भी लगते थे. हम भी कंटेनर हटाते थे, ये भी हटाते हैं. लेकिन तरीका होता है जलाओ घिराओ की सियासत हम लोग नहीं करते थे। हमारे कायदीन को भी जेलों में रखा गया, हमने जेलें सहूलतें बर्दाश्त की।
देखिए इमरान खान ने अभी स्टेटमेंट रिलीज की है। इमरान खान हैज रिलीज्ड अ स्टेटमेंट।
इमरान खान को आजाद करेंगी अदालतें।
अब्दुल समाद याकूब,
में जमानतें हुई, मजीद जमानतें।
I have just got a breaking news that Imran Khan has released a statement saying that mass mobilization कीजिए, back down नहीं करेंगे, protest आगे ले जाइए. So this is not going to stop Abdul Samad Yaqub. I don't think this is going to stop.
Well, Arnab, I would love to thank you for raising the voice against the violation of the fundamental and rights and the human violation of the human rights. So I especially thank to you for showing your concern. I mean, wherever it happened across the world, anywhere in the world, everybody must raise a voice. So thank you for that. And secondly, yes, it is going to be continued. I mean, we are not going to give up, or we are not going to surrender at any way. Because we have the first time, I mean, people of Pakistan has stood and waken up for their rights. So everybody must support it. I mean, these illegitimate government has no right to rule over Pakistan. I mean, and the way they are, I mean, killing the people. I mean, these are the peaceful protesters who are being denied to exercise their rights. So, I mean,
can they be stopped? Can they be stopped? Because where are they? What is their plan? Are they all going to come to Islamabad? What is the plan?
I mean, they have reached to the point. I mean, these containers which you're showing, these are few meters right in front of the President House and the Parliament House. I mean, maybe the Parliament and the President House is 100 meters far from this place. So it's complete anarchy. I mean, these people can. I'm afraid that they can capture the President House, or maybe there could be a bloody revolt and a bloody revolution. So they should try to, I mean, control the situation. Otherwise, would be a complete, I mean, meltdown. There would be another Sri Lanka or Bangladesh. So if they remain in the state of denial, they should get ready. They should learn the lesson from the Bangladesh. Otherwise, I mean, we are not going to give up. We'll fight till our last breath. Yes, Arnab.
Well, it's a very serious situation. आप कैसे रोकेंगे? I mean, GD Bakshi कैसे रोकेंगे? What will the Sharif do? What will Shehbaz Sharif do? What we are being told is that there are a few hundred meters away from the president's house.
You see, Arnab, the strange part is that the gentleman from Shehbaz Sharif's party, you know, he is threatening to unleash the army. He is threatening to unleash the army. In the last 75 years of Pakistan's existence, for 30 years the army has ruled directly from behind. And for the balanced 45 years, it is politicians like this who invite the army to interfere brazenly in the democratic process, to try and overturn elections, to try and overturn the popular verdict, you know, and to keep up a facade of puppets, to be a puppeteer behind the scenes. That has been the tragedy of Pakistan. If Pakistan is today at a condition of economic meltdown, who is responsible? Arnab, I ask you. The Pakistan army. They have said that we don't care from whether the people get 2 square meals a day or not. We want our toys. We want the Swedish AVAX, the most expensive. You know, we want Chinese jets and we want everything the best possible. We want to overmatch India. And in doing so, you have destroyed the economy of your country. The anger that you are seeing on the streets is basically the anger that stems from hunger.
Absolutely it does.
I mean, the people who are now threatening to use, Pakistani politicians threatening to use the army, unleash the army.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do? Jallianwala Bagh?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Massacre of the people? You will get it right back because you can only keep the people.
I think the government in Pakistan
is
going to fall We have to watch very, very closely what
basic
happens in the next
democratic rights.
few days. I don't think Imran Khan is pulling back. Viewers, the situation is of great concern. I just hope that there's no more violence across Pakistan, but the situation is totally on the edge. Now, viewers, when I come back tonight, the big debate of the day, what we are seeing as global Hindu phobia and its most latest manifestation in Bangladesh. And tonight, Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar will be joining me to discuss the growing threat of Hindu phobia in Bangladesh and why Hindu unity is the need of the hour. In a few minutes.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university in the recently released Education World Rankings. A testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked standards in education.
अपने मकासद के उसूल, खान साहब की रिहाई, आइन की बहाली और जो पाकिस्तान
Global focus on rising Hindu phobia. Need for global attention on Hindu pogrom. Time to speak up against Hindu phobia. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
It is unbecoming of a Prime Minister of a neighboring country to arrest a spiritual leader. He is not taking weapons, he is not taking guns, he is caring for his people. He is just standing up for the rights and want government to hear the atrocities that is being happening on the minorities there. And arresting a religious priest is not going to do any good to them or to the people or to the country or even the image of Bangladesh. We expect much more from Professor Muhammad Yunus, who has got Nobel Peace Prize for bringing peace and security to people, and that's why he has been put there as a Prime Minister. We will not expect him to take such action which would further create more tension between the communities and fear. So we request the government of Bangladesh to please take care of their minorities, control the radical elements that ransacking your own country and its image. Bangladesh has been known as a very liberal and progressive country. You want to take the country backward? It's very sorry state of affairs. I hope Government of India also puts pressure, and I call for the international community to not let this go the way it is going and put pressure to bring security, safety to the minorities and make people safe there.
I am raised as a Hindu. I speak about India freely, and it makes a difference to a lot of people. Today, India is the most emerging, amazing power. The way Mr. Narendra Modi has represented the country worldwide is unbelievable. India was born in 1947, I was born in 1955. We've both grown up together. We have both seen ups and downs of the country. I am protective towards my country.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
character, the taste of success.
तो हम ये चाहते हैं कि जो पाकिस्तान की आला सियासी क़यादत है वो बैठे और बैठ कर मिसाइल का हल करें।
चाहे जान भी चली जाए, अब इमरान खान को रिहा करके ही हम दम लेंगे।
Global focus on rising Hindu phobia. Need for global attention on Hindu pogrom. Time to speak up against Hindu phobia. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
He is just standing up for the rights. We will not expect him to take such action which would further create more tension between the communities and fear.
I want to talk about your directorial film next.
So Tanvi the Great is the name of the film that I've directed. A story came my way 3-4 years back and it really inspired me and I wanted to tell this story to the world. It has amazing music by M.M. Keeravani sir. We have 2 Oscar winners in it, Karim sir and Rasool Pukuti. I have a director of photography who's a Japanese brilliant Keiko Nakahara. The way I have looked at it now, it can be an important film.
Global focus on rising Hindu phobia. Need for global attention on Hindu pogrom. Time to speak up against Hindu phobia. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
He is just standing up for the rights. We will not expect him to take such action which would further create more tension between the communities and fear.
ISKCON priest Chinmay Prabhu denied food behind bars in Bangladesh's Dhaka.
At one hand, Hindus are being tortured daily. On the other hand, now Chinmay Krishna Prabhu has been denied bail.
I am raised as a Hindu. I speak about India freely and it makes a difference to a lot of people. Today, India is the most emerging, amazing power. The way Mr. Narendra Modi
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. We as a news network, as India's leading news network, are very, very concerned about the situation in Bangladesh. In fact, some of the visuals that our newsroom has got are terrible. There are Hindus who are bleeding, who have been lathi charged, who are fighting for their lives, protesting. And then you have, of course, the continued persecution of very well-known Hindu Hindu scholar and leader Chinmay Krishna Das, who faces a sedition charge against him and who continues to be in jail. He's hardly getting any food. We're very concerned for his safety. Chinmay Krishna Das, a very popular young Hindu leader, and the Ministry of External Affairs here has reacted to his arrest and denial of bail. We all know, dear viewers of Republic, that the Muhammad Yunus government, which is supported by the army, has been very intolerant towards Hindus, and that Hindu properties have been targeted, Hindus have been attacked, and this Hindu phobia is absolutely real. We know that there has been continuous persecution of Hindus in Bangladesh, but the situation has become very extreme in the last 3 months. While all of this happens, there is a global call for Hindu unity, and the good thing is that while we see pictures of this brave monk who is fighting for his rights, getting support from across the world, while we see these pictures, Hindus are also coming together through legal, peaceful but vocal means, speaking up against Hindu phobia. And I am very proud that tonight, in a couple of minutes, we will be joined by India's foremost spiritual guru, Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, who will be joining us. He's already live with us. Gurudev, Pranam Charan Sparsh. Thank you for joining us. Before we go across and speak to you, Gurudev, I would like to run a small news report on the present situation in Bangladesh this evening.
एक है तो बांग्लादेश में देख रहे हो ना, वो गलतियां यहाँ नहीं होनी चाहिए। भारत हिंदू राष्ट्र की, भारत हिंदू राष्ट्र की।
In Bangladesh, Yunus police jailed a top Hindu voice, Chinmay Krishna Prabhu. Not only did they jail him without explanations, his bail has been denied, sparking fresh protests in Bangladesh. Hindu leaders have heavily come down upon the Yunus regime.
ये आवाज़ें दबाई जा रही हैं, वहाँ के हिंदुओं को सड़कों पर निकलना चाहिए। हम आपकी वीडियो के माध्यम से कहना चाहेंगे, वहाँ के हिंदू अगर सनातन की आवाज़ को दबाना चाहते हैं तो घरों में बिल्लियों की तरह छुपे रहें, चूहों की तरह छुपे रहें, वरना हिंदुत्व की शेरनी का दूध पिया हो, घर से बाहर निकलें और सनातन के सिपाही को बचाएं, और इसीलिए बचाएं ताकि तुम्हारे मंदिर मस्जिद ना बन जाए।
It is unbecoming of a Prime Minister of a neighboring country to arrest a spiritual leader. He is not taking weapons, he is not taking guns, he is caring for his people. He is just standing up for the rights and want government to hear the atrocities that is being happening on the minorities there. And arresting a religious priest is not going to do any good to them or to the people or to the country or even the image of Bangladesh.
Since Yunus government's takeover of Bangladesh, violence against Hindus has only increased with every passing day. However, the ones saying all eyes on Rafah have now become radio silent about the situation in Bangladesh. At a time when even President-elect Donald Trump took to social media to voice concerns about the situation in Bangladesh, some leaders in India are still silent. The convenience-based activism of some has become too difficult for it to be brushed under the carpet. The liberal woke lobby has once again been caught sleeping while global Hindu phobia continues to be on the rise.
Gurudev, how do you view the situation in Bangladesh following the arrest of Chinmay Krishna Das and the protests that have erupted across the country, not just there but across India as well, in West Bengal and across the world?
It's so shameful for A country like Bangladesh, which was known for it being a liberal country, which has been supported by India even for its existence from the very first day, to treat their minorities the way they are treating it. You know, when Bangladesh came into existence, there were 30% of the population were Hindus, and today there are only 8%. And even these 8% of the population are reeling in fear. They are living in such uncertainty. I mean, this is inhuman. By no standard, this shows any civilization of modern times. So people must raise their voice, and then look at this. A monk there is standing up for the people, and he has been arrested, and he's been denied bail. I mean, please I would say them to keep the politics away from religion. Make sure that you take care of those radical elements who would ransack your country's peace and prosperity and take it backward. Instead of doing that, you are really unleashing such a terror on the people and the peace-loving people and people who have contributed to the economy of Bangladesh.
Gurudev, you know ISKCON well, and Sri Chinmay Krishnadas is one of the most prominent leaders and icons of ISKCON in Bangladesh. What do you feel about ISKCON as an organization being linked with charges such as sedition and terrorism?
Look, ISKCON is present in so many countries around the world.
Exactly.
So many countries. They are in Russia, they are in Gulf countries, they are in South America, they are in North America and African countries. They have never been charged with sedition or not being loyal to their own country where they are. You can't blame someone who is living in a country who follows Hinduism as not being honest or being loyal to their own country. Religion and the country are two different things. See, there are Christians living in India. We don't think that they are only, they are loyal only to Vatican. There are Muslims living in India. They are fully Indian Muslims and who are so full of Deshbhakt. They have many Muslims in India. They identify themselves with only India. Like that, Bangladesh Hindus, they identify themselves with only Bangladesh. So it's a confusion or mixing up nationality with religion and falsely accusing a priest of being, sedition.
Yes.
I think it's unfortunate. It's not going to do any good for Bangladesh, Arnab.
It won't. I just saw while we were just preparing to get you on live, a statement has come out from the Bangladesh government, which says that these are internal matters and that the arrest of Sri Chinmay Krishnadas on quote-unquote specific charges, does not specify what those charges are, and says that this is an internal matter. Now, to some extent, technically, the government of Bangladesh can argue that it's an internal matter, but is it? Is it not a humanitarian matter? Is it wrong for Hindus across the world to feel concerned about what is happening to the Hindu community in Bangladesh?
Human rights is a global issue. I would say, Mr. Professor Muhammad Yunus, you have won the Nobel Peace Prize. You know human rights and human values are a global issue. Like the weather could be an internal issue, but today weather is a global issue. Similarly, violence is not limited to one country, or if a country is suffering of any cause, every other country pitches in. When there is COVID, we didn't say it is your internal matter. We don't need to do anything about COVID.
Yeah.
Entire world comes, if there is a flood in Bangladesh, All other countries don't turn their face away saying it's your internal matter. The entire world comes to you and stands shoulder by shoulder to you and help you. Similarly, if you are really, causing such a, issue which would create fear in a certain population of your country based on religion, and people around the world will stand up and take notice of it.
I think the important point that you have raised here, Gurudev, is that our relationship with Bangladesh runs very deep. We have, as you have said, played a very key role in the emergence of an independent Bangladesh in 1971. But not just that, we have also provided shelter to an estimated 10, 11 million refugees during that liberation war. We are one of the first countries to recognize Bangladesh as a separate state. And our cultural connections run very deep, which predate our modern political boundaries. So I think it's wrong to look at this as quote unquote an internal matter. There's a very bad situation there, and Bangladesh is a crucial neighbor to us. We are also a crucial neighbor to Bangladesh. Do you think somewhere the Yunus government is falling into the trap of extremist groups, Islamist extremist groups, and is having to pander to that?
No, I have already said that radical elements should be reined in, and they should not be allowed to ransack the country and the peace and prosperity of a nation. Why would so many Hindus would come on the street if their security is not threatened, if their properties are not burnt? They would come.
My concern also is, Gurudev, that sometimes, these situations are created by governments who are not able to handle an economic situation, or who are not able to handle a law and order situation, who are not able to handle an energy crisis. We saw reports of an energy crisis, that the Bangladesh government not able to pay its power bills to the Adani group. These are, of course, economic matters, but I think governments must be concerned and wary that they can't distract people from the real issues that face them, I hope you get a sense of where my direction of my question is, that you can't distract angry people by making them focus on targeting the Hindu community. It's not a resolution to the intrinsic problems of Bangladesh.
You're absolutely right, Arnab. Targeting the minority is not going to help them, and it's not a small number. Even if it's a small number, even then, it is the onus of protecting them is on the government. That's 8% of Hindus of that country, and what must be happening in them if their homes are looted and burned, their shops are looted, and not just Hindus, and people who support Hindus are also any right-minded people, anyone with some sense will all stand for the rights of the minorities there. And they are doing it. So you cannot take for granted a population that can be ruled by suppression. The voice of young people, of the Hindu community, and those who support human rights, they all stand together to condemn this act. World over, I'm telling you, not just in Bangladesh. Any such human rights violation will be supported, will be condemned, and people will support those victims of human rights violation from around the globe.
Your voice carries a lot of weight, Gurudev, and people look up to you. Hindus, people follow you spiritually, global leaders follow you, Gurudev. What is your message to Hindus in Bangladesh and Hindus across the world who feel very, very upset at what is going on in that country?
No, see, peaceful protest is a right of every citizen of the world, I would say every citizen of every country. And they should be given, they should be heard, and sense should prevail,
Well, I'm sure it will, and I feel your words will go a long way. Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar, I'm most grateful to you that you've lent your voice to this very important subject in a very critical time. Thank you very much, Pranam, and thank you for joining me on Republic this evening. Gurudev.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Well, it was good to have Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar with us, set the theme for this conversation. I have with us the director of ISKCON Communications, Yudhishthir Govinda Das. I have with us also Pandit Satish Sharma, who is a very well-known Hindu scholar and activist from London. And we have Sushil Pandit with us. We are all very concerned. Ahmad Ayaz, Abdul Razak Khan on the other side, Tariq Lari. I can see Haji Nazim Khan, Muslim scholar, right? And, you know, we all want to know what's going on. First of all, Yudhishthir Govinda Das, if I can start with you. How are you tackling the situation? Will you be able to get Sri Chinmoy Krishna Das released? What is his present legal situation? What kind of charges does he face?
So, thank you very much, Arnabji, for having me on the show. As we have been seeing through the media reports, Chinmoy Krishna Das ji, who's a spokesperson of the Sanatan Jagrati Manch of Bangladesh, was picked up from the Dhaka airport, and subsequently today he was denied bail. So this is a matter that we all have been voicing, that the Hindu rights, the Hindu interests, the Hindu safety is something that is paramount, as is the safety of any other in the society. And this is what we have been asking, and this is what I think all the other Sanatani Hindu groups in Bangladesh have been asking for. And the movement what Chinmoy Krishna Das ji and his associates were leading was basically asking for the protection of temples, protection of the Hindu establishments, the lives, and the perpetrators who have committed attacks or whoever has been involved in violence. They should be charged and they should be taken through the due process of the law. So that has been the simple.
But what is the charge against him, and what is he accused of doing? Did I lose the link? What is the charge against him, Yudhishthir ji?
Arnab. As we have been informed that the charges pertain to sedition. That's the information I have received at this point.
How is asking Hindus to come together amounting to sedition?
That is something that I think only the government can answer, because what he has been doing is just peacefully coming together along with other Hindus, asking for their safety and protection.
Well, this will be defeated. Abdul Razak wants to make a comment tonight on a very difficult situation. Yes, Abdul Razak.
Arnab, atrocities on any community in any country should be condemned to the maximum possible. I am saying similar situations we have faced in India as well. The whole world has witnessed 1992. The whole world has witnessed 2002. I am saying there is a list of Maulanas who have been arrested even to date. Maulana Salman Azhari, Maulana Suhail Abu Bakr, Maulana Jahangir Alam. He is similar to what Shri Chinmayanand Krishna Das ji does.
Absolutely not, sir.
I am saying Maulana
Absolutely
Abdul
not,
Rahim Rathod, Maulana Suhail
Absolutely
Ansari,
not,
Maulana
sir.
Dr. Zakir Naik. What was his fault? No, Arnab ji.
Zakir Naik's fault is that he supports acts of terrorism.
But situation in India is worse.
Zakir Naik's fault is that he...
At least Hindus in
Zakir Naik's fault is that he supports
terrorism. Their
terrorism.
houses are not bulldozed.
He supports
they are
terrorism.
Not being mob lynched.
I think you should stop shouting. Sadhvi Jayabharti and Sushil Pandit, we have a situation tonight where Hindu voices are being targeted. I would like Sushil Pandit to respond to that. People trying to find a false equivalence between the situation in Bangladesh and in India.
Why are your eyes blind for Gaza?
Well, I would like to bring Sushil Pandit in, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Please, let's keep the discussion reasonable.
Thank you, Arnab.
Let's keep the discussion reasonable, sir. Thank you. Sushil.
Yes. Thank you, Arnab, for this opportunity. Arnab, I'm speaking from personal example, lived and experienced example. It is jihad's strategy to aim for the very top, those who are the voice and the face of resistance, non-violent resistance, become the first target. become the only target in order to demoralize the masses so that nobody dares to speak up. Nobody dares to bring up the facts. Nobody dares to challenge jihad on its own terms. Now, this is what is happening in Bangladesh today with Goswamiji's arrest. Now, I heard Gurudev Shri Shri and I heard you. You referred to ethnic affinity. You referred to cultural affinity. You referred to linguistic affinity with Bangladesh. But let's not forget, as far as jihad is concerned, all these issues are mere little sacrifices at the altar of a larger goal, which is Islamist supremacy. And they would never consider, in Bangladesh, Bengali, the language, was supposed to be compromised in order to create a monolith led by Urdu. This is what gave birth to Bangladesh, but since then, jihad has taken over. The society is radicalized, and it is not just the common masses. I will name one gentleman called Mahmudur Rahman. He's the editor of Amradesh in Bangladesh. He's an engineer. He's an industrialist. This man went public, wrote an editorial calling for a ban on ISKCON, calling ISKCON a terrorist organization. Now he's an English-speaking, educated businessman who even headed the Bangladesh Investment Board. He was part of Khalida Zia administration. Now it is from top to bottom that the societies become hostile to minorities in Bangladesh, particularly Hindus. And they are using all arms of the state, all mechanisms, all tools in order to target Hindus.
The situation is so bad today that advocates...
Last but not the least important point, last point, Arnab. Appealing to Bangladesh system is futile. We need to appeal to our own government. 95% of Bangladesh border is with India. India is the responsible power in this region. It is our government, it is our system that needs to go to the rescue of Bangladeshi Hindus in whatever manner they deem fit. But we cannot just do lip service.
Tariq Lari is on the debate, ladies and gentlemen. Tariq Lari is on the debate. And I want to say that Muslim unity is called brotherhood, but Hindu unity is called fascism. When Hindus unite, and Hindus are uniting all across the world, they are said, you're fascist. But if Muslims come together, it is called Muslim brotherhood. These are some contradictions that we must address right now. Jai Shri Ram is not a murderous cry. Jai Shri Ram is a unifying religious invocation. Ladies and gentlemen, Hindu phobia is a reality. And I am proud of people like Sushil Pandit, like Pandit Satish Sharma, who are highlighting it at an institutional level across the world. Situation बहुत गंभीर है. तारिक लारी जी, आप देख रहे हैं जिस तरह से वहाँ पे इस्कॉन के इतने बड़े एक स्कॉलर को, एक लीडर को हिरासत में ली गई, टेररिज्म के चार्जेस लगा दिए उन पर. और आपको पता है कि किस तरह से बांग्लादेश में हिंदूज आर बीइंग टारगेटेड. दिस इज अ ह्यूमैनिटेरियन इशू, इट्स नॉट अ हिंदू मुस्लिम इशू. I feel bad if there are some Muslims on my panel who are feeling happy that Hindus are being targeted. What happiness do you get, Razak? If Hindus are being targeted, you feel happy about it?
No.
You feel happy if Hindu homes are targeted?
I condemn the attack.
Hindu homes are burnt?
Nobody is happy, Arnab ji.
Yeah, Tariq Lari, please.
Nobody is happy. We condemn what's happening in Bangladesh. And
not
Islam
enough,
does not
not
preach
enough.
that.
Tariq Lari, please.
नहीं, देखिए, आप एक ही डंडे से भैंस को या गाय को हाँकते हैं, ये गलत बात है. हर धर्म में, हर कम्युनिटी में, हर मोहल्ले में, हर घर में कुछ चुनिंदा लोग, जैसे हर घर में एक शख्स मिलेगा आपको, ऐसे ही मोहल्ले में चुनिंदा लोग मिलेंगे, ऐसे ही धर्म में कुछ चुनिंदा लोग मिलेंगे.
ये सरकार की बात है, कोई मोहल्ले की बात नहीं चल रही है. ये मोहम्मद यूनुस सरकार की एक औपचारिक पोजीशन की बात कर रहे हैं. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट गला मोहल्ले का मामला. प्लीज,
आपकी बात का जवाब दे रहा हूं कि कुछ मुसलमान खुश है, तो उसका जवाब पहले मैं दे रहा हूं. तो वो चुनिंदा लोग होते हैं जो ऐसे जलालत वाली सोच रखते हैं, बाकी नहीं होते हैं. 99.99% ऐसे नहीं होते. तो पहले तो ये बात निकाल दीजिएगा. दूसरी बात ये रही कि किसी के इंटरनल मैटर में, जैसे इंडिया के इंटरनल मैटर में जब कोई बोलता है तो इंडिया गवर्नमेंट चिल्लाती है, आप लोग भी चिल्लाते हैं कि हमारे इंटरनल मैटर में कोई क्यों बोल सकता है, किसकी क्या हैसियत है। तो ऐसे ही हमारी भी हैसियत नहीं है कि हम बांग्लादेश के इंटरनल मैटर में बोलेंगे। बात सुन लीजिए, देखिए बात सुननी पड़ेगी, आज थोड़ी बात सुन लीजिए।
गलत बात नहीं सुनेंगे, गलत बात नहीं, प्लीज। आपने कहा इतना निहायती गलत कहा। मैं आपकी भाषा में मेरे को याद है।
तारिक लारी जी, आपको इंटरप्ट किया है साध्वी जया भारती ने। 2 मिनट प्लीज, 2 मिनट साध्वी जया भारती जी। तारिक लारी जी, देखिए, आप चाहते हैं कि हम चुप रहें और जो तस्वीरें हमारे सामने आई है, जो हमारे फोन्स पे आई हैं, जिस तरह से हिंदुओं को टारगेट किया जा रहा है, मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूं, तारिक लारी जी, हम चुप नहीं रहेंगे। वी विल नॉट बी क्वाइट। We will not be quiet. It is not Bangladesh's internal matter.
मेरी बात तो पूरी कंप्लीट हो जाने दीजिए, आप तो बातें नहीं कंप्लीट होने दे रहे हैं।
नहीं, मैं जानना चाहता हूं, तारिक लारी जी मेरी बात सुनिए, 1 मिनट साध्वी जी, मैं एक पॉइंट देना चाहता हूं। सारे ये लोग जो हर दिन, मुफ्ती जियाई जी, हर दिन, हर दूसरे दिन मोर्चा संभालते हैं फिलिस्तीन के लिए, जो पार्लियामेंट में जाके जय फिलिस्तीन कहते हैं, वो हमें कह रहे हैं कि बांग्लादेश में हिंदुओं के साथ जो हो रहा है वो उनका इंटरनल मैटर है। तो भाई आप क्यों फिलिस्तीन के इंटरनल मैटर में घुस रहे हैं? नहीं, व्हाई आर यू गेटिंग इनटू गाजा? गाजा इंटरनल मैटर है। नहीं, ये क्या बात है? हम क्यों माने इंटरनल मैटर? हर दिन गाजा पर लखनऊ के चौराहे पे प्रोटेस्ट करने वाले लोग कह रहे हैं ये बांग्लादेश इंटरनल मैटर है। क्यों है इंटरनल मैटर? किस तरह की इंटरनल मैटर हो गई? इट्स नॉट एन इंटरनल मैटर।
हर जगह मैटर है, हर जगह अपने अपने मैटर है। पहले आप मेरी बात तो कंप्लीट होने दीजिए। आपने मेरी बात तो कंप्लीट होने दी नहीं, एक लाइन पे आप उछल गए। पहले बात कंप्लीट करने दीजिए। भाई जो हुआ है, अब वहां का जो मैटर हुआ है कि आतंकवादी घटना या कोई भी इंटरनल घटना पे मैं उस पर दिमाग नहीं लगा सकता हूं। मेरे अपने
आतंकवादी कैसे हो गए? ये आतंकवादी लगते हैं। 1 मिनट, आई प्रोटेस्ट। एक हिंदू सन्यासी को आपने आतंकवादी कहा, कैसे कहा? कैसे आतंकवादी बने? साध्वी जया भारती is on the debate, open debate tonight. Sadhvi Jaya Bharti and Mufti then on the debate. Yeah, Sadhvi Jaya Bharti, louder please.
Yeah, one thing, Arnab, this gentleman said it's an internal matter. I remember when the CAA passed in India and these people said that Bangladeshi Muslims and Rohingya should be allowed, and their leaders have been talking on top of their voices and saying उनका नबी और हमारा नबी एक है, उनकी हमारी किताब उनकी किताब एक है, हम दुनिया में किसी भी कोने में हो, हम अपने ईमान की वजह से एक हैं. You become one universally, and when some other community goes out and asks for unity and they ask for the security, you call it internal matter. You people are so double-faced and hypocrite, and I am here with this the jihad topic that has been spoken about the previous speaker. I tell you, the persecution of Hindus has been a global phenomenon, and the problem is that Hindu is never expected to retaliate and respond. It is only that the Hindus are reacting today that these people cannot digest it. And right now, I would have welcomed these Muslim people from India who would have taken as a...
1 minute, Tariq, I can't hear her. Please don't speak over her. Please listen to her, sir. There's a bad audio line.
हम लोग किसी को नहीं रोक रहे बांग्लादेश के मैटर में बोलने से। आप खुद जितना बुला के बोलिए, सड़कों पे बोलिए,
आपने जो बात कही, आप लोग
You are allowed. This is a free country.
1 minute, Tariq Lari, may I allow her to complete her point? Sadhvi Jaya Bharti, please continue.
Yeah, Arnab, it's a very, thank you for even taking that, there's a global persecution against Hindus. There's a history of Hindu persecution, documented genocide for centuries. And obviously this, Mr. Pandit has already spoken that it's in the trail of jihad. And look at the way these people, they wage jihad over Hindus, and immediately after that they start playing victims. This gentleman just said that it is about a... Sir, I'm not talking about your terminology. The world knows it. Don't go into that. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Don't go into that.
जहाँ मुस्लिम देखते हैं वहीं जिहाद का शब्द इस्तेमाल कर लेते हैं।
मुस्लिम देखते हैं, मुस्लिम हाँ, पूछिए पंडित
हाजी नजीम खान, लाउडर।
पूछिए पंडित जी से जो जेनोसाइड रिकॉर्ड पे है इस्लाम के हाथ में।
नेटवर्क खराब है। हाजी नजीम जी, I'll improve your audio and come back to be replaced by Mufti Manzoor Zia. Yes, please. Now,
Hindus are never expected that they should retaliate, and this is in Bangladesh. They are calling it terrorism. It is their fight for survival. What are they talking about? The only thing that the Hindus are demanding is that the security and the right to survival, and that has been denied to them. And they are talking about internal matters and communities here. It is not even a human parallel discussion that these people are giving. It is my fight for survival.
No, I am actually Mufti Zaiji. Before you come in, I am so proud of the Hindus in Bangladesh who are fighting such a brave battle. 8% of the population, they are not giving up. We are proud of you. And I would say that you continue to fight peacefully, legally, but vocally. And as all of us know, you can't afford to be quiet. If you're quiet, they will think you are weak. And you're not weak. Hindus are not weak. Hindus are, 1 minute, let me complete what I'm saying. Hindus are strong. Hindus are united. And Hindus are 1.3 to 1.4 billion people in the world. Hinduism is the third largest religion in the world. And Hindus will no longer hear, Hindus will no longer hear these lectures saying to be a good Hindu, you must be quiet. I would say to be a good Hindu, you must be assertive. You must be vocal. You must know what your rights are. And nothing can put you down when the truth is with you. Ji, आवाज उठाओ. So I want to, and I want to say, Mufti Ziai ji, Satyagraha is a Hindu concept. है ना? So we know how to fight. What is happening in Bangladesh is terrible. Now, every second day, ये बताइए, Mufti Manzoor Ziai ji, Muslim leaders say we must talk about what is happening in Gaza. Why is our government not talking about what is happening in Gaza? But when people are being killed 100 kilometers across the border, then you say, why do you need to interfere in the internal affairs of Bangladesh? 1 minute. बोलिए, and I want Pandit Sedition on the line.
इत्तला देना चाहता हूं कि जिन लोगों ने भी बांग्लादेश में हमारे हिंदू भाइयों के साथ जुल्म और ज्यादती की है, उस और जुल्म और ज्यादती के खिलाफ हिंदुस्तान का मुसलमान और हिंदुस्तान का हिंदू और पूरे हिंदुस्तानी सभी लोग उस बात के साथ खड़े हैं कि कभी भी ऐसे हमारे भाइयों के साथ जो जुल्म होगा, उस जुल्म को हम बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे। हिंदुस्तान के तमाम मुसलमानों की एक राय है, और वो राय ये है कि हमारे मुसलमान भाई हो, ये हिंदू भाई हो, और बांग्लादेश हो,
या ओवैसी चुप क्यों है?
हमारे इंडियन पर
ओवैसी चुप क्यों है? बोलने की बात एक होती है, करने की अलग होती है। ऑल इंडिया मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ बोर्ड चुप क्यों है? ऑल इंडिया मजलिस इत्तिहादुल मुस्लिमीन चुप क्यों है? कांग्रेस पार्टी चुप क्यों है? हाँ जी,
इंडिया वीक नहीं है, इंडिया मजबूत है। और
मैं इंडिया की बात ही नहीं कर रहा हूँ। मैं ये राजनीतिक दल जो इधर राजनीतिक जल जो हर वक्त मुस्लिम अपीसमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं, उनकी बात कर रहा हूँ। उनकी बात कर रहा हूँ
इंडियन के ऊपर जुल्म किया जाए।
मैं तो
इंडियन है कि हमारे इंडियन भाई पर जुल्म होगा, चाहे
मैं स्यूडो सेक्युलर लोगों की बात कर रहा हूँ।
बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे।
मैं स्यूडो सेक्युलर लोगों की बात कर रहा हूँ।
वो अपने पॉलिटिक्स चमकाने की बात करते हैं। आप इंडियन की बात करें ना, आम इंडियन की राय लें, आप मुसलमान की राय लें, आप हिंदुस्तानी की राय लें ना। हम हिंदुस्तानी वो लोग हैं जो अपने भाइयों के लिए दुनिया से लड़ सकते हैं।
भैया, क्योंकि मुफ्ती जियाई जी, एक मिनट, क्योंकि आप लोगों के सामने अगर मैं कभी कहूं कि हिंदू फोबिया जैसी चीज होती है, तो आपके कहाँ हिंदू फोबिया है? भाई, मुझे तो पता है कि कनाडा में हिंदुओं को कहा गया लीव द कंट्री, है ना? और ब्रिटिश, अरे एक मिनट मेरी बात सुन लीजिए, देखिए,
इंडिया में कहा गया हम इंडियंस के साथ खड़े।
अरे आप मेरी बात सुन लीजिए, मान्यवर, मेरी बात, you please listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Now listen to me. ये 2024 है, and now we are talking to new awakened Hindus across the world. There's a global Hindu unity project which is going on. You know, in Britain, global Hindu unity आपको तकलीफ है?
नहीं बिल्कुल तकलीफ
नेशन फर्स्ट तो हम कहते हैं, हिंदू यूनिटी आपके लिए खतरा है क्या?
और वो मजबूत
इज हिंदू यूनिटी a खतरा फॉर यू?
बिल्कुल नहीं, हमारे लिए कोई खतरा
तो डोंट गेट एंग्री देन।
हमारे हिंदू भाई मजबूत हो
जी।
पूरी दुनिया में इंडिया
जब हिंदू फोबिया हो रहा है तो हिंदू ही तो बोलेंगे, और नहीं तो कौन बोलेंगे?
नहीं आप
आपके घर पे कोई अटैक करे तो घर वाले ही तो आवाज उठाएंगे।
किसी से डरता नहीं।
हाँ जी,
हिंदुस्तान का हिंदू कभी किसी से डरता नहीं है।
डरने की बात ही नहीं है, मगर नो 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 1 मिनट, कौन डरता है? हम तो कह रहे हैं डोंट टेक इट लाइंग डाउन, हिट बैक।
वी आर इंडियन और हम कभी किसी से नहीं डरते।
No, we are Indian and then Hindu, but can you say that you are also Indian and then Muslim?
No, we are Indian also.
No, not Indian also. I'll say I'm an Indian first, Bharatiya first and then a Hindu.
Yes.
Will you say that?
हिंदू भाई पर भी कहीं पर जुल्म होगा तो किसी भी मुल्क ने जुल्म।
नहीं, आप मेरे क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं दे रहे।
बांग्लादेश को हम बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे।
Anyway, now my question is, Hindu phobia is real. Ladies and gentlemen, 2020 में there was a caricature of Preeti Patel. She was mocked. I think she was the Home Minister of United Kingdom. You know why she was mocked? Because she's a Hindu. Most anti-Hindu crimes कहाँ हो रही है? California में. Even well-known players like cricketer Danish Kaneria has to be targeted because he's a Hindu.
अरे कनाडा में, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में कौन करता है?
हाँ, लक्ष्मी नारायण मंदिर है कनाडा के ब्रिटिश कोलंबिया में, वो टारगेट हुई है। राम मंदिर है कनाडा में, उस पर टारगेट हुई है। स्वामीनारायण मंदिर टारगेट हुई है न्यूयॉर्क कैलिफोर्निया में।
अरे
भाई की बात कर रहे हैं। आई एम सेइंग हिंदू एंटी हिंदू जो लोग हैं इन्होंने टारगेट किया है, हिंदू फोबिक लोगों ने टारगेट किया है। जैसे जूस को टारगेट किया वैसे हिंदूज को टारगेट किया है। जैसे जूस को टारगेट किया गया था, जैसे हिटलर ने जूस को टारगेट किया था, वैसे हिंदूज को टारगेट किया जा रहा है दुनिया भर में।
अपना रिश्ता मुनक़ता कर लेवे ना। अमेरिका और कनाडा के साथ हिंदुस्तान अपना रिश्ता।
आई एम मेकिंग अ पॉइंट दैट हिंदूज हैव बीन टारगेटेड। आपको बुरा क्यों लग रहा है?
किसने टारगेट किया? टारगेट किया? किस कम्युनिटी ने टारगेट किया?
आपको गुस्सा क्यों आ रहा है? See, are you seeing this, Pandit Satish Sharma? I merely have to mention that Hindus are being targeted and there is an insane amount of opposition to what I'm saying. मैंने गलत क्या कहा?
This is the very reason, this is the very mindset, this is the very Islamic hate towards Hindus that is targeting Hindus across the world. You've spoken about, I am talking about the Pennsylvania, I am talking about California, I am talking about Smithwick, everywhere, whether it is, desecrating Hindu temples, whether it is desecrating Hindu scriptures, whether it is mocking Hindu people, whether it is, tilting the cow heads and throwing them in front of the temples. You just have to Google and there'll be a lot of instances. Yes, Hindu phobia is real for globally, and right now, just because even there's a rise of Hindu consciousness, Hindus were not expected that they will take up a call and they will retaliate, they will demand for their security.
I'd like to go across to one or two guests from Bangladesh if I can, because I've just had this reaction from the Bangladesh government which says whatever is happening to the ISKCON priest is our internal matter. I'd like to get a view from Pandit Satish Sharma, who's listening in from London. You're listening into the conversation. I'm sure you're up to date with what's happening in Bangladesh. Is this issue being discussed and debated among Hindus in the United Kingdom, elsewhere across the world as well?
Good evening, Arnab ji and Jai Shri Ram, to yourself and to everybody on the panel. Firstly, if I can just make an observation, I'm deeply saddened at the lack of compassion for simple humans who are struggling to stay alive in the country of Bangladesh, demonstrated by some of your co-panelists. It's very difficult to see a solution arising when basic respect for the freedom to live, just to live and to have freedom of religion, is not respected by people who appear to be eminent clerics. So putting that to one side, yes, this is being raised in every corner, but I think for Hindus internationally, for us, this is now a moment of incredible learning. We are going to see all of the hypocrites come out, all of the people who, when CAA was introduced, were beating their breasts and saying that this is discriminatory. Well, we are seeing the evidence for why CAA was so critical and so necessary. It's a strange situation that from our Sanatani position, we do not believe that a human being is born with hatred, that hatred has to be deliberately and consciously seeded in the heart of a vulnerable child and then nurtured and fuel poured on that fire so that that child can one day become a terrorist who cannot see the shared humanity in a person in front of him and can only see blind hatred. And so this is not something which is accidental. It was predictable. My heart goes out to Sushilji as well. The number of times I have seen him and heard him screaming from the treetops that this is going to happen, and it happens repeatedly again and again. One dimension I'd like to bring into this is that is the hypocrisy of the international community. Where are the United Nations peacekeeping forces? Where are the British government's Foreign and Commonwealth Office members saying we need desperately a humanitarian corridor? You know, where is the voice which is saying that these Hindus are being persecuted are in fact the indigenous residents and citizens living in their own homeland, with their traditional indigenous culture being ethnically cleansed? Where are the voices of Shamnesty International demanding some sort of intervention? The silence is absolutely deafening. And I think this is something that the Indian government really now needs to look up at. The British government have an entity here called Open Doors UK. Every year they issue a list of countries where Christians are being persecuted. And I've had a glimpse. It's going to be launched in January. And would you believe that India is at number 11 on this list of international perpetrators of violence against Christians and minorities? Bangladesh, would you believe, is at number 26. So Bangladesh apparently in the league table is way beneath India when it comes to the protection of minority rights. This is not based on evidence. This is spreading hatred. You have mentioned that we're seeing the rise of hatred. This is not an accident. We saw it being seeded when Vivek Ramaswamy was interviewed by Ann Coulter, and she said, well, I love your policies, but I can't vote for you because you're a Hindu. We saw it being seeded in California, and we have heard it and seen it being seeded in Bangladesh. It's apparent the state in Bangladesh has never adhered to or respected the rights of the Hindus. It would have gotten rid of the Enemy Vested Properties Act a long time ago, which openly allows for property from Hindus to be seized. Hindus have no human rights in Bangladesh. I think it's absolutely necessary for the international community to step in. If the international community does not step in, the global Hindu diaspora will need to reconsider its assessment of the capacity of nation states like Britain, like the United States, to even have an interest in protecting Hindu national rights.
I think the global Hindu diaspora needs to come together and see this as a wake-up call. And if Hindus are going to be taken for granted everywhere in the world, Pandit Satish Sharma, and we are quiet saying, oh, but we are in a secular country. We are in a secular country. First of all, I want to make the point here that we are in a secular country with a lot of pseudo-secular people. And Ahmad Ayaz, 94% of Hindus across the world, 94-95% of Hindus across the world live in India. And over 80-82% of the population of India is Hindus, right? India's cultural heritage is because we are the center of the Hindu civilization. You may not like it, but the fact is Hindu civilization is at the core of India's being. Okay? Because the Hindu civilization emerges out of India. Okay? So now we have a situation out here. And I'm glad you mentioned Shamnesty International. I would like to add to that list all the pseudo-seculars. Where are people, for example, like Prashant Bhushan today? They will lose their Twitter following. Where are people like Arundhati Roy today? You see, where are these newspapers? Where are the front page headlines in The Guardian? Is there a front page headline in The Guardian? Not a word. Not a word. Yes, you may respond. You may respond. But there is going to be a fight back of the Hindu community like never before. And the Hindu community is very educated, very powerful, right? And there are 1.4 billion people on this planet. Republic Media Network calls on the Hindu community to come together at this time. Ahmad Ayaz, yes, please.
You see, Arnab, despite the fact that every country has its set of rules, own set of rules and own system to operate, But with all that, there are issues sometimes which can have
Is he a terrorist? Is Chinmay Krishna Das a terrorist?
There are issues like this, whatever has happened,
like
can
what?
have global ramifications, and nobody can deny that. Because normally no religious leader, no religiously fellow.
So all the terrorists have been released by Bangladesh, and a single Hindu monk has been arrested. Do you know the heads of the terrorist groups who have been released? You have had Muhammad Yunus sitting in meetings with them.
Now, let me complete my point. I say that we should believe that no religiously fellow is expected to be
Don't say no
involved in
religious.
any criminal activity.
Don't say no religious.
No.
There are only 150 Sikhs and Hindus left in Afghanistan. Did you ever remember what's happening to the Hindus and Sikhs in Afghanistan?
I say no religiously fellow is expected, but unfortunately, still, if there is anything such that
you don't even acknowledge. You don't even acknowledge that Kashmiri Pandit said a genocide in Kashmir. People like you.
No. If you relate to the genocide, I may say no.
I don't relate to the genocide. I want you to admit it.
Why? No, it can't be admitted so because...
Why can't it be admitted? It will make you feel guilty.
No.
It will make you feel guilty.
It cannot be just... No, we cannot accept just what you say is true. It is not that.
What do you accept?
So far,
the Al-Qaeda reality.
It was a situation where even Muslim also was a victim. It's not only.
So along with Kashmiri Pandits, Muslims were victims.
A minority was victim. Everybody had a problem, but the unfortunate part was the Muslims were in majority. They could not move. They could not flee around. That was an issue. Otherwise, they were equally.
You are saying Muslims, while being perpetrators, are also victims.
Were a sufferer, and he will say that it was a genocide against.
You are blind, Ahmed. You are blind.
Not at all. No,
you are blind.
I am blind. I am very open. I am very open.
You are not blind, actually. You are pretending to be blind.
No, he's willfully lying. He's willfully lying. He's not blind. He knows, and he's willfully lying.
I said based on the facts and the ground realities were
he's
so.
He's willfully lying.
So I'm speaking on the facts.
He knows.
Not that
And he's distorting.
It's untrue what I say. It was not aimed against the Kashmiri Pandits, but unfortunately they were in the minority, and that's why they had no option except to.
They had no option. Same thing will be said about Bangladesh. Same thing will be said about Bangladesh. It was not aimed at the Hindus in Bangladesh. Unfortunately, they were in a minority, and therefore they had no option but to leave Bangladesh. I say, welcome the Hindus from Bangladesh with open arms.
Look at the prevarication.
CAA was created for moments like this.
Has a right to exist. Everybody
India is the natural home of Hindus.
World to exist.
We have to give shelter to Hindus who are targeted across the world.
But still, if it's a matter of law and order...
Haji Nizam Khan is with us right now. Haji Nizam Khan, you wanted to say something last time. Aap kuch keh rahe the.
In the process, no innocent should suffer. Belonging to...
Volume बढ़ाइए, जी बोलिए.
Responsibility of that country.
हाँ, अर्नब जी देखिए जिस तरीके से बांग्लादेश में हिंदू भाइयों के साथ जो घटना घट रही है भारतीय मुस्लिम है। हाँ, देखिए हम भारतीय मुस्लिम हैं, हम चाहते हैं कि वहाँ हमारे हिंदू भाइयों को सुरक्षा मिले। और देखिए भारत सरकार की नैतिक जिम्मेदारी है कि बांग्लादेश को अखंड भारत का हिस्सा बना ले, ताकि देखिए हम लोग अखंड भारत के हिस्से में और भारत सरकार के साथ खड़े हुए। लेकिन जिस तरीके से बांग्लादेश के अंदर हिंदू भाइयों के साथ हो रहा है, तो हम देखिए मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी पूरे अपने तन मन धन से हिंदू भाइयों के साथ खड़ी हुई है। लेकिन जिस तरीके से मुसलमानों के साथ अगर हो रहा है, तो मुसलमानों के साथ कोई नहीं है, क्योंकि देखिए हम लोग तो संविधान से चलता है। हम लोग अपने सुरक्षा की गुहार लगाते हैं, लेकिन हम लोगों को
I think the most important thing right now is that the global Hindu community should, and I think that a suggestion is there, and I think it's a good suggestion. You can discuss it. You can share this video elsewhere, ladies and gentlemen. I think the global Hindu community. Can I have a moment, please? I think the global Hindu community should start a campaign so that the Nobel Committee, which gave the Nobel Prize to Muhammad Yunus, should take back the award because of his continued persecution of the Hindu community, his cohabitation with Islamist groups, and his role in targeting the Hindu community's lives and properties in Bangladesh. The Nobel Committee should take back the award that it gave him. What do you think, Sushil Pandit? What do you think, Pandit Satish Sharma? We need to exercise our pressure. Hindus across the world need to come together to exercise pressure and make their voice heard. What do you think, Sushil? Can we do something like that to embarrass them, to push them back, to make them accountable?
Arnab, indeed, but we are dealing with thick-skinned people, Arnab. They care to hoots. They are today, they have pounced on the Hindus of Bangladesh. They are relentlessly target them. Today we need to rescue these Hindus. Unarmed, peaceful, innocent Hindus, that should be the first priority. Their ladies, their daughters and sisters are being humiliated, their homes vandalized, their shops looted. There should be our first priority. And India should take responsibility. Indian state, Indian government, Indian system, Indian people should take responsibility. They are left behind by us in the wake of partition. We are responsible. It is our natural home. It is their natural home. We need to reach out. They have no one else in the world, Arnab. They are looking at India with hope. They have no one else.
सर बांग्लादेश को अखंड भारत का हिस्सा बनाने में आप लोगों को क्या दिक्कत है? हम चाहते हैं कि अखंड भारत के अंदर बांग्लादेश आना चाहिए.
Community are going to be lobbying the government to sanction Bangladesh.
Well, I think
the British community are going to be lobbying the government to reconsider whether they're going to get a free trade agreement with a Hindu majority nation ignoring Hindu rights in Bangladesh. I think we need to be more robust now. It's not enough just to get rid of Nobel Peace Prize handles. This has to be dealt with at an international level. If Bharat has the capacity to demand a seat at the United Nations Security Council, now is the time for it to step forward and say, what is the point of the United Nations Security Council when Hindus internationally are feeling so insecure?
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a very serious matter. We'll continue to pursue it. As of now, Republic Bangla and the Republic Media Network is committed to speaking up for the Hindu community and for Chinmay Krishna Prabhu, who has been illegally arrested in Bangladesh, and today, most unfortunately, his bail has been denied as well. This is just one instance in a series of instances of Hindu phobia. We must come together and speak up for what is right. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night and goodbye.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 private university in the recently released Education World Rankings. A testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked standards in education.
Matters raised with permission.